that is so different from the rest of the Indian subcontinent. It's impossible to relate to them, to the other people occupying inhabiting India. The color, the style, the physiques, and all other things make them distinctly different. And the present day Christian scholars who have worked on this, many of them have written books on the subject, testifying to the truth of Ahmadiyya claim that the people of Kashmir and people of Afghanistan are the old Israelites who were forced to migrate from Judea at the time of Nebuchadnezzar. So they got settled in different countries. Now, was Jesus right or wrong? Was he right or wrong?
Right.
Was he a true prophet of God?
Yeah, true.
Must he fulfill his promise?
Yeah.
Why couldn't he go to Kashmir then? Why shouldn't he have gone to Kashmir? He had made a clear-cut promise. He said, my ministry will not be complete until I also deliver the message to the lost sheep. And he is told to have been lost, and the lost sheep is told to be waiting there for him, and no Jesus reaches them. This is impossible. So our rebuilding of the scenario of what happened holds water in view of the common sense, in view of the scriptural prophecies. Then the Holy Quran also points at the same thing. It says, وَآوَيْنَهُمَا إِلَىٰ رَبْوَةٍ ذَاتِ قَرَارٍ وَمَعِينٍ. First of all, it says that we made Jesus, son of Mary, a sign. And we removed both of them to a place of shelter and security, which was a mountainous area abounding in springs and peace. Now, does this situation apply to Afghanistan or to Kashmir? This description obviously applies to Kashmir. So of all the places where earlier the Jewish people had migrated, the one place which exactly corresponds to the Quranic description of أَوَيْنَهُمَا إِلَىٰ رَبْوَةٍ ذَاتِ قَرَارٍ وَمَعِينٍ, a place of many fountains and peace, that is Kashmir. And when you know that the Israelites had settled there, and they still retain the same features and other signs of their belonging to the people of Israel, then I doubt if anybody has a reason to doubt. Anybody can reasonably doubt this. Right? So, Jesus must be found wherever the earlier Israelites had moved. He must have delivered the message to them, and successfully this time. Because we read in the history of migration of prophets that although they are rejected in the first instance, to the first address, when they address the message to the first people for whom they are raised, they are most often than not rejected. But after the migration, the success follows amazingly, like it happened in the case of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah. He migrated to Medina, and the story of Medina was so different from that of Mecca. People have now divided the two eras as to Meccan era and Medinan era. So that should also have happened to the faith of Jesus Christ, and he must have successfully delivered the message, as we also find in many Pali tablets where Jesus is mentioned as a form of Buddha, and the story about Jesus is repeated even to the point of virgin birth. There's so much to it. You know, we have raised a question which requires such a big answer, but I would like to give opportunity to other guests as well. Okay?
There's still one question.
Yes, please.
According to your answer, does that mean that Jesus' mother, according to your answers and according to the verse of the Holy Quran, does that mean that Jesus' mother died in Kashmir as well?
What? I couldn't follow this. Anybody would help me? क्या कह रहे हैं?
According to your answer, it means that Jesus Christ also died in Kashmir.
No, I mean mother, Jesus Christ's mom, Mary.
Mother. She also died there.
No, it doesn't follow automatically from my answer. It is a long way from Palestine to Kashmir. And an old mother, like Mary was at that time, might have died on the way, might have buried anywhere on the way. But to a place where the Kashmir territory had started, because both are mentioned to have reached there by the Quran. So very likely the grave of Mary we find in Murray, which is a part of the same hill, mountainous region to which belongs to Kashmir, because it's adjacent to Azad Kashmir and runs into the valley at last. We find a grave of my Mary, which seems to be a grave of pre-Islamic period. And the people who verbally give us the account of that grave also speak of this. So it is very likely that Mary might have got buried in Murray, which is again a part of the same description, if not the same country. Because the Holy Quran didn't say Kashmir, didn't say Himalayas either. The Holy Quran said a place which was mountainous, which abounded in fountains. So if she had reached that place, then the prophecy of the Holy Quran got fulfilled. But maybe it is another Mary. I don't insist it is the same Mary. But there are so many graves of Mary found elsewhere in Kashmir, here and there. So could be she reached the destination with Jesus and got buried there. In fact, the people of the Prophet's time do not pay exceptional homage to the mother's graves, to the Prophet's mother's grave. And perhaps it is against the spirit of unity of God to unnecessarily highlight the mother. So you can see where Rasulullah Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam is buried and how much emphasis is laid on his grave. But if I ask you where is the grave of Hazrat Amna and his father, you have to turn the pages of history to discover where they were buried. So it is not important to indicate where the mother is buried. All that is important is where the Prophet himself is buried. And there we have a graveyard by the name of the graveyard of Jews Asaf, on which subject so many books have been written by Ahmadis, but not only Ahmadis. Now the German scholars and some other Spanish scholars, some other European scholars and Americans as well have written on this topic. So if you're interested, you can read those books and then you will know how true we are in our understanding of what